my notebook ready because I'm going to answer some questions. And this is a tag. This is a tag that was done by Zombie Baby. So hi Zombie Baby. This is the 15 weird questions tag. What's a nickname that only your family calls you? I get called Mummy or Mum from my children. Sheena by everybody else because that's my name. And I don't have a nickname at all. I've never had a nickname in my family. Not that I can think of. So yeah, no nicknames here. My only nickname is the one that I have for the internet. But that's, you know, that was self-picked, so. What's a weird habit of yours? Weird habit. Picking toenails? I do have a habit of doing that. That's quite a, you know, biting my nails. I bite my nails. I'm terrible for biting my nails. I keep saying I'm going to grow them and have, you know, manicures and everything. And every now and then I go and have a manicure done and I love it. And then within a few days, it's all been bitten off and I'm biting my nails again. So yeah, that's a weird habit, I suppose. Clearing my nose. I have a habit of clearing my nose, sniffing quite a lot. Mainly because I spent so long as a child, I think, because I had adenoids and things, and I have allergies and so on. So it's constantly something I'm doing, you know, without even being aware of it half the time. Do you have any weird phobias? Well, I wouldn't say it was weird, but I do have a fear of falling, and having fallen over quite recently. It's something I don't like doing. It's something I hate. I hate it with a passion. That's why I hate walking down steps, walking on land that's uneven and bumpy, and really kind of fills me with dread because I have a tendency to fall over quite a lot. So that's kind of become a bit of a phobia for me, I suppose. I once had a sort of panic attack before getting on an aeroplane, but that was because I'd hit some turbulence in a previous aeroplane flight, and the woman who was sitting next to me was sitting virtually on top of me and had grabbed hold of my arm and was screaming, "Oh my God, we're going to die!" I was on a flight down to Heathrow, and it was in February. I was on my way to my honeymoon in Egypt, and we were just on like a small plane to go to London, from Manchester to London, and the woman who was next to me literally screamed in my ear, "Oh my God, we're all going to die!" Because the plane literally went from being steady to dipping quite significantly. It went down. It was about like being on a roller coaster. So obviously your stomach turns over, you start getting scared. So when I actually got to Heathrow, I didn't want to get on the plane to Egypt at all. I was absolutely determined I was not going to get on. There was no way you were going to make me get on. And I had to be talked round by stewardesses and so on. I had some stomach problems at the time, so that resulted in me, you know, having to dash to the toilet quite a few times before takeoff. It was all part of the anxiety of it. So yeah, that's not exactly a weird phobia, I suppose, but the fear of dying in an aircraft plummeting to earth isn't strictly weird, I suppose. What's a song you secretly love to blast and belt out when you're alone? This is something I tend not to do very often now, but I used to do it quite a lot. One of the ones I used to enjoy doing was Big Hollow Man by Danielle Dax. I used to really love cranking the volume up on that. It was because I had the 12-inch version, so I used to just put that on and whack the volume up and dance around my lounge and stuff. But now I tend not to do that so much. I tend to put songs on in the car. It's not a matter of I secretly love any particular song. I like so many different songs. And I like different songs for different reasons because they remind me of different... At the moment I'm going through a Japan phase, so I'm playing a lot of Japan in my car. I go through Susie and the Banshees phase where I play all the Susie and the Banshees albums one after the other. And I just, you know, I just love music. So what can I say? I don't really have any secret songs. What's one of your biggest pet peeves? Being let down. When people say they're going to do something and they don't do it. I try my best to fulfill obligations unless something happens like, you know, I've fallen over and hurt my leg, then fair enough. I mean, I can excuse anybody who's ill or who's problems, you know, if they have, for example, they may have problems going out in public and so on, so I can understand people who have issues. Yeah, but it's when somebody who hasn't got any issues who just lets you down. That is a big peeve of mine, because I think it takes nothing to pick up the phone, send a text, whatever. But it is a peeve of mine. What's one of your nervous habits? Back to the weird habits. Yes, it's chewing my nails, picking my toenails, picking my nose. You name it. No, I suppose I've got a few nervous habits that I have that are just there. What side of the bed do you sleep on? Seeing as most of the time I have the bed to myself, I sleep on all of it. I try to spread out as much as possible. If my boyfriend stays, then I have the side closest to the door, which is, if you're lying in bed, it is the left-hand side of the bed, because it's closest to the door, and I don't want to have to walk all the way around the room if I want to go to the toilet. So I quite like being close to the door. Don't ask me why. It's a weird thing that, you know, obviously, should anything happen to me, should somebody who's going to attack me in the night come into my house, then, you know, I'm pretty scuppered, really. What was your first stuffed animal and its name? Now, I had 2 bears, one yellow one and one red one when I was a child. They didn't have names because they were just there. They were bears. They were bears I'd had since I was a baby. So they didn't have names. But the next bear that I had did have a name. And I know I have great difficulty giving things names, anything. Some people do it all the time. They give their car a name. They give all sorts of things names. I don't personalise things in that way. But I did have a bear that was called Fred. Fred Bear. Yeah. The joke's in the name, obviously. What's the drink you always order at Starbucks? Now, I have periods where I go through drinking decaf skinny cappuccinos, which is kind of my go-to drink. But occasionally I'll have what I love is when they do the eggnog lattes and the pumpkin spice lattes and things like that. So, gingerbread lattes. Oh, I love gingerbread lattes. If gingerbread latte isn't on the menu because it's not autumn or winter, then it's a boring old skinny decaf cappuccino. Why decaf? Because I don't tolerate caffeine very well. I'm afraid caffeine kind of tends to be a bit, I'm okay on 1 or 2 cups of coffee, but if I have more than that, then generally I'm climbing the ceiling and I can't sleep. So, what's the beauty rule that you preach but never actually practice? Well, I don't preach any beauty rule really, because everybody's different, so I don't preach anything in particular. I suppose one of the things is taking off makeup, because I'm a bit lazy sometimes and don't always take off my makeup at night and go to sleep in it, and consequently wake up with panda eyes, but you know, hey. Which way do you face in the shower? I don't have a shower, I have a bath. Or bath, depending on which part of the country you come from. If I do ever have a shower, which sometimes happens if we go and visit my boyfriend's family, I face both ways in the shower. I'm not proud. I like having a shower. I like having a bath even more, but I like having a shower. So having a bath is just it's my luxury. It's my one time when I can kind of switch off from everything, and I just sit in the bath with a book and just read. So yeah, so that's shower weirdness. Anyway, do you have any weird body skills? I can kind of do that with my thumb a little bit. I can do that with my finger. That's weird. That's something that I started doing at the age of about 10. I've got a little bit of hypermobility. I'm not totally hypermobile, but I do have some hypermobility in my knees, especially my ankles, my ankles give way quite a lot. I used to be able to touch my thumb to my forearm, but I can't now because I've stiffened up. As I've got older, I've stiffened up. I used to be incredibly flexible when I was younger, and I put that down now to knowing that I actually have some hypermobility issues. But no weird, but I can't waggle my ears or my nose or touch my tongue to my nose or anything like that. What's your favourite comfort food? Or food that's always bad for you, but you love to eat it anyway? Where do I begin? Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Bread, chocolate. Bread, bread, bread. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Cake, chocolate, cake. Biscuit, or as you call them in America, not biscuits. I'm a sugar junkie, and I am really trying to bring it under control because I need to lose weight, and so I need to curb the sugar craving. Yeah, I've got to do it because I'm at risk of developing diabetes, so I have to give it up. What's a phrase or exclamation you always say? It's like waiting for Christmas on Boxing Day. It is what it is. Never mind. Hey ho, time to sleep. What are you actually wearing? Well, I'm not going to bed at the moment, so I'm not in my pyjamas, but generally speaking, it's some kind of pyjama-y thing. You know, I wear pyjamas and bed socks because I get cold feet. I feel weird if I don't have something covering my feet at night. It's a strange one, I know. I can if I'm in bed with my boyfriend, then I could quite happily sleep naked, no problem. But if I'm on my own, I like to have pyjamas on and socks and stuff. Strange, I know. So yes, so that's my 15 weird questions tag. Thank you, Zombie Baby, for setting it. If anybody else out there wants to do it, please go ahead and do it. I'd like to see your answers. Okay, and I will see you all again soon. Take care.